there's so many different areas in Orlando, and I figured if you're looking into moving to Orlando, you're probably curious about what you could get at your desired price point. And so in today's video, as a new series, we're going to be looking into these Orlando suburbs at all different price points so that you can have a better general sense of what you might be able to get. And in today's video, we're going to be starting with Lake Nona. Stay tuned. Alright, so before we begin, we're going to establish some parameters around which we're going to do this search. And so in the past 6 months, 214 units sold, specifically in 32827, which is going to be the only zip code we're going to be looking at for this video, although I will sprinkle in some honorable mentions along the way. But 214 units sold for an average price of $880,000. However, accounting for high extremities, say a $7 million sale, or a abnormally low sales price of maybe $150,000 for the area, we're going to look at the median price, which is right around $652,000. And so based off that, we're going to look at what we could get below $652,000, what we can get right around that $652,000 price range, then obviously above that and beyond. And so let's get straight into it with this first home located in the Water's Edge area in North Lake in Lake Nona. This is one of the most beautiful communities. Recently had a family move over into this area. They absolutely love it, with all the amenities, the dog parks, the playgrounds, the pool, the tennis courts, the YMCA, the school within the community. Just really well done overall. And so we're going to be looking into this townhouse. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a little bit over 1,500 square feet, built back in 2015, so not too long ago. So as you step inside, you got the living area, nice size tile flooring, you have some quartz countertops, some updated cabinetry, you have this courtyard in the back, which is really common in the North Lake area for these townhomes. Gives you a cool place to hang out even though you are in a townhome. And again, the walkability here to all the different parks and all that kind of stuff is really amazing, and what really sells a townhome or just a home in general in these type of communities. And so typically between the 4 to 5s, that's what you're going to be looking at if you're looking at buying in 32827. It's going to be a townhome for the most part, or a condo, which at that point you got to be 55 plus, because it's going to be in the gatherings right in the heart of the Lake Nona town center, pretty much close to it. Moving on from the 4 to 5s to now the 5 to 6s is typically where you're going to be able to get into a single family residence. You're going to be able to get into maybe a newer townhome, say in Isles of Lake Nona or in Laureate Park itself. And so that's going to be really good if you want a townhouse and you also want really close access to, say, Canvas, the town center, the Wave Hotel, the LNPC, all the goodies that are going on in Lake Nona, right in the heart of that downtown area. Then you're gonna be able to snatch that up in this price range. But here's the interesting thing: between the 4 and 5s, like I said, in 32827, you're really looking at mostly townhomes or a condo in that 55 plus community. But if you're able to just take that drive over to the right side, maybe an extra 10 to 15 minutes, now you're in 32832, you're able to get a single family residence in Story Park and some of these other communities that are in that area. And so as long as everything else checks out, all your other questions are answered, and you're okay, and the community works for you, you might be able to get a single family residence even if you're under 500,000, while still being within relatively really good distance to Lake Nona, which is really cool. And so depending on your flexibility, there's definitely some options out there that you should be considering. And so with that, let's look at what an average home looks like in Lake Nona. And so if you're in that $650,000 to maybe $800,000 price range, let's look at what's available to you. First, we're starting with Laureate Park, which now you'll probably be able to get into a bit easier, right around the mid 6s to $800,000. And so at this home right here, it's currently listed at $655,000. It is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath home, just under 2,000 square feet, built back in 2017. So relatively new, which is going to be typical of the homes in Laureate. Other than that, it's going to be around the 2013 era. You can see they have the gourmet kitchen package, which is really nice with the granite countertops. You have the tray ceilings in the living and in the bedrooms. Stepping out onto the backyard, you have the pavers and this really nice grass area to kind of have the dogs run around, or you can make it into some sort of a garden space, which it has been. Within the $700,000 to $800,000 range, you're going to be looking at anything from 3 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms, whether that's North Lake or in Laureate Park. You're looking at a typically newer home in North Lake. You're probably going to be able to get a pool home, whereas in Laureate Park, that might not typically be possible. You're also going to have a lot more new construction options, both in Laureate Park when you think of Laureate Park South, or you're thinking of Isles of Lake Nona, or you're thinking of Dreamfinders with Summerdale Park as well. So now you've seen the entry-level price point, you've seen what an average home more or less looks like in Lake Nona. Now, what if you're at the higher end in terms of price point? You're looking for something a bit more expansive, a bit more exclusive. What are some of your options? We're going to dive into that right now. Now, let's say you're at $1 million. You're typically going to be looking at a larger home in Lake Nona. You're typically talking over 3,000 square feet, maybe right around that 3,700 range. Now, as you step up past 1.5, you're going to be looking at possibly staying within the Lake Nona Golf and Country Club, or you're going to be looking at an incredibly large home with Laurel Point by Toll Brothers in Lake Nona as well. They have the Corbeil Modern, for example, right now on the MLS for 1.8. You're looking at over 4,600 square feet, and so it really comes down to kind of your preference. Now, let's say you have a really high budget, typically over $2 million, where you're entering the uber luxury market for the Lake Nona area. You're typically gonna only be in the Lake Nona Golf and Country Club, which is probably where you're gonna be looking at anyways when you factor in the privacy, the exclusivity, the amenities with the golf course, water sports, and all that the Lake Nona Golf and Country Club has to offer. You have some amazing mansions and custom estates to choose from, but if that is not satisfactory enough, there are some lots for sale as well, with a list of approved custom builders to build you your own dream home. So the bottom line is, regardless of your price point, if you're looking to live in and around Lake Nona, there's probably going to be something out there for you. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about your options, looking to move to the Orlando area, I'd love to partner with you as your real estate agent. So you reach out to me by emailing at info@orlandowithmario.com, and we'll get the process started. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, join the family. Thanks so much for watching, and until we meet again, make sure you stay safe.